the transparency and accountability of the procurement law. We will say more of this in Parliament on Wednesday, but I will tell you that your UNC members in Parliament will not support this killing, butchering, massacring of the procurement law. We will not support it. We will not support it in any way. And when the minister signed those illegal orders, his failure to bring the exemptions for debate in the Parliament before giving them out, these contracts. My question today, Minister, and to your government, did you commit a criminal offense? Sections of the Procurement Act speaks about criminal offenses. One says a person who directly or indirectly influences in any manner or attempts to influence in any manner any procurement proceedings in order to obtain an unfair advantage in the award of a procurement contract commits an offense and is liable to a fine of $5 million and imprisonment for 10 years. By illegally and unconstitutionally bypassing Parliament, has the finance minister, is he guilty of influencing procurement proceedings? And it doesn't stop with him. These illegal contracts, knowing full well that he had just voted for a law that required them to come to Parliament for approval, that was a precondition for these contracts. They have given out contracts illegally under an illegal so-called exemption order to their friends, their family and financiers. That is a blatant criminal offense. Mr. Imbert was quick to throw the AG under the bus, Reginald Amo. When the matter arose, he said he acted under legal advice from the Attorney General. Well, Mr. Imbert, we know never take advice from a lying Attorney General. Incompetent lying AG. Never take that advice. Amo would equally be guilty of misconduct in public office and aiding and abetting a criminal offense. If, as Imbert claims, he was advised by Amo to break the law. Amo must also be investigated and charged for colluding with Imbert to break the law. It is unthinkable and unimaginable that a Minister of Finance can publicly say that the AG, who is a legal advisor to the Cabinet, advised to commit a criminal offense. Amo is intellectually and mentally unfit to function as AG. He has done irreparable damage and destruction to the office in his short time there. Government now come into Parliament, as I say, retroactively evaluate and make other changes. So what do I say? I call upon the Commissioner of Police. Well, wish me luck. I call on the Commissioner of Police. I call upon you to launch an immediate criminal investigation into this offense, just as expeditiously as you have done had it been a political opponent of the PNM. I call upon you that a PNM TTPS, I tell you, Mongoose gang, instructed by the PNM control hierarchy of the TTPS, are raiding people's homes in Tobago who were connected with the Farley so-called alleged tape, because Farley stood up to Rowley's financiers in Tobago. I call on the DPP to act on this matter so that the rule of law and our Constitution can be protected from these vicious and diabolical actions on the part of the PNM government. And the issue of crime as a pandemic. And we on this platform, in this space, will not be intimidated by Prime Minister Rowley, who goes on a platform and say we want to run a general election. We're talking about crime. Mr. Rowley, you are not real. Come down from there. I told you that last week. Come down from there, Rowley. Come down. Come down. Crime is the #1 fear, terrorizing all of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And you are so out of touch that you say we must not speak about crime? If you will not speak about crime, we will, because that is what our constituents tell us. That is how people are on the ground. This is what they're saying. And if you look at all the clips, you will see crime is on the rampage. They want us to ignore the reality that the hierarchy of the police service is taking political orders from the government. They engage in immature PR over the weekend. 319 dead and counting. You have the responsibility, not reforming, but repeating that you will vote for the UNC to stand your ground. What did David do when faced with the reality of Goliath at Judah? What did David do? He stood his ground. He was brave like the great King David. And tonight I call upon you, UNC members and friends, stand your ground. We want to give you a fighting chance. So let us give legal firearms you can protect your families with. When they come to bad talk, legal firearms, tell them Kamala is giving you a fighting chance to secure yourselves and your families. My friends, losing everything under the pandemic, that is the PNM. What is the opposite of secure? It is insecure. Why does every living thing find insecurity so terrifying? This is a fact. Every living thing is desperately afraid of insecurity. In states of insecurity, you're bound to suffer losses. Insecurity means losing everything. I want you to listen to this carefully. In states of insecurity, you will always suffer losses. Some will suffer grave losses. The result of grave losses is suffering, depression, and premature death. Some of us are still trying hard to keep our minds and bodies intact under the terror that is this government. Remember how they terrorized you under COVID, terrorized you about your jobs, terrorized you about vaccines, terrorized you about wages. This government is a party of terrorism and insecurity, which means they are the party of widespread losses. You know, music lyrics, music is a sign of the times. The young generation now is singing what is known as pretty bad music. The only things these young men are singing about are death, suffering, hatred, political victimization. I want to give you another instance of grave insecurity. Talking about the COVID-19 pandemic. How many thousands of your loved ones died? Why did your beloved husband die? Why did your beautiful wife die, your children, your ambitious son, your loving daughter? Why did our beloved suffocate to death like something from a horror movie? Why did you have to lose? Even as we ask these questions now, you see their warm and loving smiles. You still hear their voices and feel their touch. This is the government's responsibility for all your losses over the last 8 years. If all of this gets you burning with anger, wanted to hit out, tonight I say hit out with your vote on August 14. Hit out and say you want security, you want love, you want care. Hit out against waking up to another day of losses, another week of losses, another month of losses. Our UNC councillors here and others, they have given their pledge of service to you. Thousands of you have seen their pledges and have agreed, put them to the test. So redirect your pent-up anger and hit out against losses and insecurity by voting for care and security in all your UNC councils. They are the pandemic. The PNM is the pandemic. And I ask you to remember that as we vote against the PNM on August 14th. There is just one other matter I had to raise, and I'm not sure if Radon got it printed yet, but if not, my memory is fairly good still, so I want to raise with you another breaking piece of news, which is that today the court granted the Presbyterian Board leave to challenge the decisions of the government with respect to the breaches of the Concordat. And this is a very important landmark piece of information that only came to me on my way here. Presbyterian Board, and I know the other denominational boards, are challenging government's decision to interfere with the running of those denominational schools. I will speak more on that, but remember, this is a fascist government. It is their way or no way. But thank God we have the courts of law and the rule of law, and we will continue to stand up for you, for justice, to stand up for the rule of law, to ensure that Trinidad and Tobago gets back on the right path. I close, my sons and daughters. Remember, whenever you feel alone, all on your lonesome, when you feel no one cares for you, whether you feel that you can't go on, know that we in the UNC will love you all. I say put God in front and walk behind. Psalm 27 in the Holy Text tells us, the Lord is my light and my salvation. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? And it ends with, wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. Put God in front. Stay strong, UNC family. Stay strong. And ensure that here in Princestown, all our councillors in the corporation are voted into office. Before I leave, remember this as well. Yellow is the code. The code is yellow. Don't tote, just vote. Stop toting and start voting. Starting up in the east in Grandi, it is code yellow. Come along the corridor, Arima to the Puna, Sadi Grandi, Lavanti, up the road, Port Spain, Diego Martin. The code is yellow. The sun rises in the east and shall move to the west, to the south, and to every part of our land. And when we come down into the south, Cuba, Tabaqui, Talparo, code yellow. Chaguanas Borough, code yellow. Princestown, code yellow, yellow, yellow. Pinal Debe Corporation, the code is yellow. And right down to Superior Corporation, we gone clear, the code is yellow. God bless you. On August 14th, put your X next to the rising sun. Thank you.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. Come on. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14th, vote for UNC.
That was a paid political broadcast brought to you by the United National Congress.
No for you and your family. So now we vote. This is the time to secure TNT. Come out and vote. Make sure the children safe in the community. So we have to vote. This is the time to secure TNT. Hey. You see the crime and violence, we can't take it no more. No more, no more. And the home invasion of the people insecure.
The weekend.
Yo. It's a feel-good weekend.
On the street.
I wanna make love to you.
Where we turn down the talk
And turn up the music. Playing all your favorite songs and artists of yesterday and today.
We sing, send me after them this.